Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Tech Day. I'm here with my friend and co host, Ms. Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the BizChicks. We'd like to welcome you. I hope you'll join in, wade in to the conversation here because this is where we go through different things that are happening in tech and share that information with you. Now, we want to give a shout out to everyone listening on Clubhouse. How you doing in the Clubhouse? And for those of you who are watching live here on our various channels, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we'd love it if you would just go over there and subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up. We're getting started over there. And also, if you'd like to join the Biz Chicks community, you can text Biz to 33777 and become a part. Now let's get started. How you doing this morning, Fran?
I am doing well.
Good, good. All is well?
Yep, this is the first Friday in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get the party rolling. This week in tech history, let me see. Boy, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just going to go with January. I'm going with January 6, 1838. Morse demonstrates telegraph. Samuel Morse's telegraph system is demonstrated for the first time at the Speedwell Iron Works in Morristown, New Jersey. The telegraph revolutionized long-distance communications, reaching the height of popularity in the 1920s and 1930s. It was slowly replaced by the telephone, faxing, and email. However, it wasn't until January 2006 that Western Union, perhaps the most famous telegram company, sent its last telegraph.
2006.
Mm-hmm.
You could still send a telegram.
Right. That's a long time. January 6, 1984, Hitachi announces it has developed the first memory chip capable of holding 1 megabyte of data.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so how many? We are in gigs now.
We're up to gigs now.
Okay, January 6, 2000, Steve Jobs unveils Mac OS X for the first time, declaring another computing revolution was on its way. It was certainly a revolution for Mac users at the time and has led the way for a resurgence of Apple in the marketplace. As Mac OS X is the basis for the iOS that runs the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. It certainly seems that Mac OS X has revolutionized computing in even ways Steve Jobs may have not fathomed at the time. And the author said, or did he? January 6, 2004, Apple Computer introduces the first variation of the iPod line, the iPod Mini. The iPod Mini began the trend for Apple to introduce smaller iPods that were often cheaper but could hold just as many or more songs in the previous generation larger iPods. As the underlying technology improves, such as the availability of the smaller hard drive in the iPod Mini and eventually affordable flash storage in the future iPod Nano, Apple continued to push iPod technology forward, ensuring that they remain the dominant force in the digital audio player market. Now, I got a question. Do we still have
the nanos iPods and things that our kids have?
Yeah, I think everybody got a phone right now. Well, not everyone. Many people have the phone. So do we still have the iPods? I think they're still selling them. I got to go over there and take a look.
I don't know if they're still selling it, but I know my brother has a drawer full. He's got the Nano and and the kids had them when they were in high school. Mm-hmm.
Right. So anyway, I'm just trying to think to see if that's a thing. Yolanda, go ahead. Oh, no worries. January 7th, 1927, the first commercial transatlantic phone service was made available to the public. It used radio signals rather than the undersea cable or satellite technology of today. Did you hear that? It's rather than the undersea cable. So our technology is using that underwater cable that they strung up between the UK and the United States. We're still using that.
Wow.
You mean the fiber optics cable that's under? Yeah.
It's still, but that was laid like in 18, it was laid a long time ago.
Yeah, years.
They did something right because the water hasn't deteriorated it. You know what I'm saying? The salt water and stuff. Somebody did something right. Maybe those are people should be working on the space station.
Well, not just that, but maybe they should be working on our tunnels.
Something, because
is it Musk is working on a tunnel, but that's not under. I don't think it's underwater.
No, it's not underwater, right. But he is working on a tunnel. It's called Bohr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 31 calls were made between New York and London that day on January 7th, 1927.
Wow.
And my last story, January 7th, 1968, Surveyor 7 lifts off from Launch Complex 36A, Cape Canaveral. Surveyor 7 was the seventh and last lunar lander of the American Unmanned Surveyor Program sent to explore the surface of the moon. And that is your Week in Tech History. I was going to say something about Mars and the moon, but
I know how you feel about that.
If we don't have the natural apparatus, aka lungs, to breathe whatever that is up there, why are we okay?
And well, I guess we could have said the same thing about the airplane.
No, but the airplane, at least we are in our own atmosphere.
Okay. But do we have the natural capacity to fly?
But the law of lift superseded the law of gravity. But the law of gravity still is there and will pull you back down once the law of lift is no longer there. So you're coming back down. When you get into the atmosphere of space, however, there is no oxygen. And if you are trusting the people who built cars, and okay, you can't do a recall once you get up in Mars.
Okay.
This spacesuit has a recall. It ain't quite doing what it's supposed to. You're not coming back from that.
No, you're probably not.
And Elon did they polled a question for him about, so, isn't going to Mars just something for a rich billionaire just to have something to say? He said, and I have to go back and find the article, but he said, okay, so one, the possibility of get there is already going to be hard.
A challenge.
If we get there, we're probably not going to get back. And he said, does that sound, you're not, and it's not going to be a leisurely stay when you go up there, because you still got to survive. Coming back home is probably not a thing if you get there. He said, does that sound like just a rich man's fantasy or whatever? No, because if he's serious about going, knowing that there is a large possibility that you're not going to get back and that you're not going to survive when you're up there. And he said, well, why are you doing it? He said, well, like there are people who went to Mount Everest. People die on Mount Everest every day. They just wanted to climb the mountain to climb.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
People have different objectives.
I have a quick question out because I went to Clubhouse
Uh-huh.
and I see the BizChicks. It's in the group only. It's closed to the public. Is that what you wanted to do?
No.
There's a lock
And
there.
uh-oh. Wait a minute. I almost pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, I see BizChicks in the little green club, and then it says, okay, now it says open to everybody.
I don't understand why I can't unlock it immediately after I set the little thing, but I'll figure that out later.
I think there's an option where you make it club members only. I think I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, that's after
Yeah.
that's if you go in and set it up off the calendar. But if
okay.
you just go and say start a room,
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's just not there. Because
No.
I never use that green button. I always go to the calendar.
Right. So when you use the green button, if you don't go back in there and unlock it, you
okay. Because
won't be able to see it. And we have TJ in there. Alexis is over here. And Doctor, I'm going to have to look this up. Dr. Tammy is in the house.
How you doing,
Hello,
Dr.
everybody?
Tammy? How's everybody over in the clubhouse?
Okay. So look, if you're going to Mars, just make sure you want to go and make sure that there's probably it's not round trip.
You might want to watch a lot of back episodes of Lost in Space.
Well, they had, Lost in Space at least had the technology in place to do some stuff.
To get home?
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
And you got to trust the people who are doing the work to get it right. Some people can't even.
That's really true. Wow.
The bots will probably get it right, but the humans.
The humans might go on lunch break at the wrong time. Okay.
That's like, okay, there was a car company who had was building cars. This was a while back, and there was people found Coke cans in the where you between the place where you put the window, how the window rolls down, and there's this cavity between the window and the outer part of the door. Well, there was a Coke can and some other stuff up in there. I was like, because people didn't take their job seriously. Is that
right?
Okay.
And so there was like, la, la, la. I don't want them people working on the Mars project.
Okay, that sounds realistic.
Anyway, that's your weekend tech history.
Well,
Good.
does that mean I'm up?
Yeah.
You gonna start some stuff?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. I never intentionally started anything. Okay.
Yeah.
I do want you to know that TikTok is going to now be playing on the big screen at Taco Bell restaurants and bars. They have a contract with a company called a streaming company called Atmosphere. And so now they're planning to curate the best TikToks and show them in these restaurants as entertainment.
Okay.
So then when you're sitting there waiting for your meal or whatever, you'll be able to see TikTok. You know how you go to a sports bar and they're up on the TV?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that kind of situation, I believe, which I thought was a unique marketing tool. I think that's pretty amazing.
It depends on who your audience is.
Yeah.
Well, they're going into Taco Bell, which is fast food, and young people tend to eat fast
They're
food
not gathering out at Taco Bell
right now.
They're
But
not.
the contracts are going into place for the future, Fran.
Okay, but I'm not going. The kids ain't going into Taco Bell like that.
Well, some of them are going in there because it's the only place that got internet so they can do their homework. But that's beside the point. Okay, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I just want you to know the entertainment in the form of curated TikTok. The best of TikTok may be playing soon at your local restaurant or bar. So I'm sure that they will curate according to the audience. Okay. The other thing I want you to know is that, let's see here, there is a chameleon car that has been developed. Who developed this car where it actually changes colors?
Really? That's
Yes,
interesting.
the BMW. Okay,
Mhm.
at the electronics. What is it? Electronics da 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 show. What is it?
The CES, you mean?
Consumer Electronics Show,
Yeah,
right?
CES
That's it.
is going on
Yes,
now.
CES. I was trying to figure out, remember in my mind what
Right.
the initials were. So it's the Consumer Electronics Show. BMW showed off a car that can change colors similarly to the way that we change our desktop wallpaper on our computer.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that, if you're in the mood for something, I guess you can just change the color of your car. Now, this I find is interesting. Here's what I want to ask you, ladies. Do you find it hard enough to find your car in the parking lot without remembering, did you change the color this morning? Oh
So
no,
how does it change again? There's a program that does it in the car.
yes.
Like you changed your wallpaper on your phone
Oh,
or
okay,
on
got it.
your skins if you're playing a game.
You
Right.
can change the
You
outside
change
color.
you can change the color. I'm like, okay, yeah, that would be an issue if you forgot what.
Because I'm having enough trouble just remembering this little silver car now. If I turned it red or blue, I'll be like, that's not my car. But I guess in this day and age, you can hail the car anyway, and it'll probably drive to you, because there's also a self-driving tractor out there that was
Ale-
introduced
Really?
that you can run by remote control.
Okay,
So,
well,
the
Alexis has a
farmer don't even
comment.
have to come out the house now. He can just sit back, go, plow field 42. Okay, well, I'm loving
Alexis,
that.
I'm sorry, Terry. Alexis, did you want to weigh in?
I just wanted to say I'm with Terry. I have a hard time finding my car right now. As blue as it is, I go to the parking lot and I still gotta hit the horn. Like, where is it? Where is it? Where? Yes. You don't need to be changing no colors on me too.
Okay.
I already tried to put my key in somebody else's car. Yeah, no.
I'm feeling you, Yolanda. I'm just like, what is really up here? I would be one lost puppy. No, that's not my car. My car is silver. Okay, lady.
Not today.
And then
Terry, let's see your cup just to interrupt. Your cup, I loved it. It had it's pink with a high heel shoe on it.
Yes,
I love that. I just wanted people to see it.
Yeah, Terry collects unique little.
I thought that's cute. I love that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Clubhouse can't see it. It's a pink cup with a high heel on it.
Stiletto.
Yes, XOXO. It says.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was cute.
So, ladies, that's all I have, because I can take you down a rabbit hole, and I'm not going there this morning. But I wanted you to know you can change the color of your car. And there's some other little things. If you need a self-driving tractor, they got one.
Wow.
Well, Lisa, you can go. It ain't messing up stuff. The self-driving tractors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And soon you'll be able to see TikTok on the big screen at your Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
The restaurants and bars. So let's move on.
Crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Okay, that's me.
Yep, TJ is up.
All righty. Happy New Year, everybody. I know there's a point where you stop saying it, and that's my last one.
Was it this week?
I don't know. This, I was told you can't keep you. It's too late to say it. I'm like, no.
I don't think
you got
so.
a week.
We're all in. Today is day 7. It's still new.
Yeah. So I'm like, Happy New Year. And we're talking about this week in social. Let me say it right. This week in social media news. Well, there's some news. It's not as much as as it would usually be, because it's the first week of January and everybody's back to work, and then Oh, so sad.
Yes. Head
But
down, pencil up. Mhm.
yeah, they're like, oh, we're back. We don't feel like working. But let's start with Clubhouse. Since we
Before
still
you
talk,
do
you know,
that, before
yeah.
you do that, we want
Okay.
to say congratulations to you being named in for the 2022 predictions 100.
Live, was it 100 live stream predictions? I think it's
Yeah.
called.
Oh,
I was
right
like,
now.
ooh, go TJ.
Thank you. This is with Ross Brand. If you don't know, Ross Brand has Live Stream Universe, and he's into live stream. He's been in live stream for a long time in podcasting, and he put these things together where he asked us for predictions. I think this is like the 7th year. So this year and last year he made a book. Like before it wasn't a book. So now, you know, he sends us these graphics and we, you know, tweet these things out to promote it. So I think it's won a bunch of awards.
Oh, good.
Awards. Yeah, I think
TJ.
so. Yeah, thank you. I was like, who, me?
Yes,
Yes,
you.
Thank you. And also Dr. Tachi is in there also.
All right, Dr. Tachi too. Wow, we are honored. We got two.
Eileen Smith is there's a bunch of people
We're familiar with.
live streaming community knows. Eileen Smith is in there, a whole bunch of people.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Clubhouse.
Yes.
We got to talk about it. They're finally on the web.
Oh, really?
Hold on, and not the web. You can share a link from your Clubhouse out, like tweet it or share it or put it on Instagram in your stories and have a link, and then it will open up on the desktop, and you can listen to it.
Woo!
Oh.
Okay, so this is the official wording. Clubhouse is testing a new sharing option that will let users share a live room, not only with other Clubhouse users, but with users on other social networks. So there's a link that you can share. And I believe, let me see, because I'm in Clubhouse now. I think it's the 3 dots.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. I don't see it. Fran may have it.
Okay, so I hit 3 dots and what do I?
When you share. Oh, there it is. So at the bottom, there's a share button.
Okay.
And then it says share via Twitter, Facebook messages, and then there's a link. So if you share that link out and someone taps it and they're on the desktop, they can listen to the room. They can't join in though.
Okay, it says get the room link. Okay.
Right. So once you share the link to a live room, people can access it through a web browser, even if they don't have a Clubhouse account.
Okay.
Now the feature works only for listening, so they cannot join from the web.
Yes, but they can listen to the conversation.
Right, they can listen live, and also if you have the replay setting and you share it out with the link and go to the desktop, they can listen to the replay also.
So
but they cannot participate.
So technically, it's like a little mini podcast type of thing. You can put it over on something that you have, and people can listen in without going through other ways. Nice.
Exactly.
And they had a room about that yesterday in the podcasting room about what it means now that you could do that, what it means to podcasting. So I was wondering what that was about because I didn't like.
Oh wow! I shared it out and look at that.
But see, you're on mobile, Terry. You're on mobile.
But we're talking about
share.
Well, I texted to this person, and then it comes up, and you get this little icon like you do when you send a link from StreamYard.
Right.
And they can go in.
If you don't, this is for people who do not have Clubhouse at all installed anywhere.
Right.
Share it on the desktop, and it will open the browser. And matter of fact, let me show you. I think I have mine. I think I opened one. I know Clubhouse can't see it, but I'm going to share it here so you can see. Can you see that? The interface.
Yes.
That's what it looks like on the desktop.
And it says audio is muted, and it shows you who's in the room.
Right. So if I click it, it will start playing. This is one of mine from last year, and I think if I scrub it,
you can go to your posting. You got a
nice, and then you can scan. It says something about scan the QR code too.
Yeah. There's a QR code. I'm not sure if it's on the desktop, but this is it. And then look at the right. It says more to listen to. So there's links to, I'm not sure who this is, but Clubhouse is putting suggestions. So like if you're done with this room, they have suggestions on the right, like 3 suggestions, and I'm going to click on one and see what happens. So it just goes to it, and then you can listen. I'm not sure if this is live or not, but
so what I hear you saying is you don't have to download the app.
No,
to listen.
Which means people can listen to our program wherever they are. They don't have to have Clubhouse. They don't even have to have YouTube, Facebook, or anything else. They can just listen on the browser.
But if they're just listening, they cannot
participate. You have to be a member of. You have to have an account on Clubhouse to participate, but it's only through the app. So this is desktop only. I think, was it Alexis that was saying about the podcasting option that she was in a room yesterday? So this is good for that. You could potentially say, I'm going to start a podcast. What do I use? Well, I'm already in Clubhouse. I'm already hosting a room, or with moderators or whatever. And after you're done, you can say, hey, I'm going to share this out, just like you share a podcast, because it's a link.
And people can listen to whatever that was. Simple. We like simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a way to get the replay
for that people can engage, because they're not going to keep it like that for long. They're going to have it where people engage.
Yes.
Right.
What would be the go around for that? I mean, like, have it go on and have it on Facebook Live and just people do comments.
That would work.
And they can comment in like you do on YouTube right now.
I think that might be the work. That might be the workaround, because now you don't have to mess with Facebook audio rooms.
Right. And everybody doesn't have the audio rooms, the live rooms yet. So we're looking for that on Facebook.
Like if you do like a Facebook Live of you doing the Clubhouse, then they can go into Facebook Live and they can still hear it, but they can also in the Facebook platform, or even Instagram for that matter, then they can just comment.
Well, we're going to have to see. Okay, we like playing in the sandbox. So I can't.
If you're doing it live.
So if Terralina, if you take that link and go over to your I was going to say your Instagram. Nope, you would have to go put it in a browser to play that.
Yeah, it plays to a browser, because it opens up a window into a Clubhouse, like a Clubhouse landing page, and then there's the option to play the room. If it's live, it will just start playing live. If it's a replay, it tells you to click, and you just click it and it starts playing.
I got the feeling that somebody's gonna do something, Alexis. They're going where people can comment.
Right. That should be the next step. We'll see.
Because they're always working on something anyway, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. They, how they dip and drab everything.
Well, at least it's a sane drip and drab, not unlike some other people. Okay. At least
shall not be named.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're happy with that.
Yes.
So we're happy with that.
Yeah, we're playing with it over here.
Okay, good. So staying with Clubhouse theme, moving on to LinkedIn. Hold on. LinkedIn is adding a Clubhouse style audio events. Okay, so LinkedIn has been working on a Clubhouse style live audio room feature since last March. They're set to roll it out this month as part of their events feature, because LinkedIn, and this is the thing, especially with live streaming, because like, remember I said StreamYard, we could connect StreamYard to a LinkedIn account, and then we could actually do a live into LinkedIn, but I didn't like it because it creates an event. So they're putting things with their event feature, and it's like a landing page. So if you've used events in Facebook for Facebook pages, it's like that. And it makes a separate landing page where you put the title of the event, you can put a graphic, you can invite people, you can say what it is, and then when you go live, it's on that page instead of it being in your feed.
Well, I can see how that would work, because if I wanted to do an event, because again, LinkedIn is business focused, right? So I'm having an event. We're going to talk about, whatever we're talking about, how you can be more proficient with your insurances or blah, 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 whatever it is. I can see how people would want to come over and listen to that.
Right. And then just remember, it's not in your feed per se. It's like an event, and you can post the event post to your LinkedIn feed, which I just found it a little clunky, but that's just me. So so the plan is to let organizers host virtual roundtables, fireside chats, and other kinds of discussions, and hosts will be able to moderate discussions while attendees will be able to speak with each other during events and after the event is over. So all of that goes into your event section in LinkedIn if you're using LinkedIn.
So, and that was the key, what you just said right there. If you use LinkedIn, and everything we talk about on here, if you use that for your clients, it doesn't mean that everybody has to use Clubhouse. Okay, so you don't have to use Clubhouse. Clubhouse was good because nobody was doing audio well.
Right.
Okay. And so then Clubhouse decided to do audio, and now everybody jumped on Clubhouse because it was working.
Right.
And now other people are having different features. Like, I still don't like Twitter's, what is it, Spaces?
Twitter Spaces.
It's very confusing to me. I was living there and I was like, why is it? And when you go on Twitter, there's things at the top, and I'm like, why are you people up here? It's not clear for me.
You see, the purple circles at the top are people that you follow, that they are in a space.
Right.
So they put it, and Twitter was supposed to move all that to a separate tab at the bottom, which they haven't. So that might go away. The purple circles might go away.
It wasn't clear. And so, but having, wherever you are, use the tool that they have. Like, you can't do audio on Facebook because it still hasn't released. Well, some people can't do audio on Facebook because I don't have access to live rooms. I probably wouldn't do a live room there anyway. It's too cluttered. And Instagram doesn't have an audio space yet.
But it's coming. But their focus is on Reels. So,
and if the people are doing these are trying to get people to leave the different communities, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's going to be, and I said this on Tuesday with the marketing trends. I said that live audio was a trend, but it's going to be niche. It's going to be, if you like Twitter, you're going to use it on Twitter. If you like Clubhouse, you're going to stay in Clubhouse. If you like Facebook and your people are there, let's put that in context, because we're talking about for building your business and your brand. If your audience is on Facebook and you're there, you're going to use it there. So it's going to be like this piece of, okay, there's audio, but it's where I am. So you see this with LinkedIn. So now if your people on LinkedIn, and like Fran said, is business oriented, you might want to start doing live audio over there. If that's your thing where people are hanging out, your people.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to do it everywhere. I said that on Tuesday. Live audio is going to be integrated into every popular app, because it's one of the trends for this year. So just say, hey, if you're not on Clubhouse, I don't have to do Clubhouse yet. I can do it on Facebook if that's where my audience is and I have access to the tool. Or Instagram, like Fran said, Instagram is going to have it. Once Facebook has the live audio rooms, Instagram's going to have it. Because it's one of the trending tools, trending things for this year. So expect to see more live audio, but within the place that you like to hang out, which is good. And Discord has it too. I haven't talked a lot about Discord. They have a lot of these tools integrated already. So again, it's where you like to hang out and where your audience likes to hang out.
Dr. Tachi, go ahead.
Oh, it's just brief. As I said,
Okay.
About that. Okay. There are too many. I shouldn't say there are too many. Everyone can do this, but can everyone do it well? And like you said, it's absolutely where you want to hang out. But I see that it's a whole thing like with news, right? It's better to be right than to be first. So what happens is everybody starts to rush to the punch because, and Clubhouse was a major impetus in the push for this whole live audio thing and audio in general. But people rushed, to the punch. So in that, obviously, whenever you start things, there's always a process of it's going to get better and it takes time. But people rushed because they wanted to get their feet in the game before everybody else did. Yeah, you're here, but are you right? Is it done well? So I think that's going to be the operative question. You're here, but are you done well?
Thank you.
And that's a good point because I just remembered. Remember, Spotify had the green room, and everybody rushed over there in the first days, and I forgot about it after like a couple of weeks. I was like, "What?"
Me too.
Me 3.
Yeah, because see, the green room was a part of what app was it that it was sports focused? So those locker room. So they're still there. Those people that were using it for sports talk are still there. But everybody else that, we went over there and it was like, oh, green room, Spotify, da, 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 da. And now it's like, I forgot about it until just now.
Right. So we walked in the locker room and it's like, oh, wait, I don't play this sport. I need to go.
And a matter of fact, I'm looking at it now is the first thing that pops up is week 18 NFL picks. New year, new music, snow music. Wow, I don't know what that is, but I don't want to know what it is, and that's it.
I think that was a misstep by Spotify, if you ask me. The fact that you already have an established platform that is very niche, and now you want to add things to it. If it wasn't niche, I think it could have gone really well for them. But because you already have a community with their own rules and their own ways of doing things, in fact, you would hear when you go in, Clubhouse people would try to go in with their Clubhouse ways, like the flashing the mics. We don't do that because they didn't. They had their own rules and ways of doing things. So I think it wasn't so niche and sports oriented only that it may have turned out better for them. We'll see what else happens.
And I think they should have kept the name Locker Room.
Yeah, because that's what it is right now. It's not Green Room.
They were known as the Locker Room, and then somebody's going to change the name and change the paint on the building. Are we at the right location?
I'm looking at my notification. I went all the way back. It said like 204 days. So that.
No, yeah, you haven't been in there in a while.
Like, how many months is that? Like, I don't, and it just popped into my head just now when we were talking about the live audio part of it. So it's not going to work for everybody. So we shall see. All right, so let's move on to Google. Google has some things that they were doing, and because Terry was talking about cars, so now Volvo is putting YouTube video player in its cars.
Okay.
So you'll be able to watch YouTube videos when the car is stationary, not when it's moving.
Okay.
So they're saying while you're charging your electric car, waiting for a friend, picking up takeout, whatever, because it has the console in the middle with the screen. So they are the first automaker to offer direct integration with Google Home in the cars. You'll be able to control certain functions remotely via Google Assistant, such as tell your phone to lock the doors.
Turn out the lights.
Warm up your car. It can, the ones that have the auto start and stuff, warm up my car. They're saying 2-factor authentication is needed for more sensitive commands like unlocking the door. So, They're going to add more features later, like scheduling charging if you have the electric car.
Mhm.
And they're going to roll this feature out in the coming months.
Okay. So
All
you
right.
know this is all Tesla-esque, right?
And remember, it's not while the car is in motion. The car is
Right. Well, because Tesla already does that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole screen now we can have the Tesla has a media center. I haven't updated mine, but they have a whole media console
That panel
that
in the middle, yes.
that has YouTube, Netflix, everything is on there. And right now I can play games and stuff because I haven't updated to the new media center, entertainment center. And the car will not start, will not go anywhere. If it will shut the game off when you if you want to try and go or do something once you put it in drive.
Right.
Like, no, so that part is good because there would be some.
That's very smart. Yeah, there's some people that would try it to drive and do things while driving. So
no. But I do like the fact now having it, if I could sync it with the voice activated device that I have and say, hey, such and such, start, turn on the climate in the car. That would be great if I could do that. So that's genius right there. That you can use to do it.
Right. Loving it.
Oh, so Francine, you can actually sell your house and live in your Tesla.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because I can schedule the charge and I can do all of those things already. I just can't talk to my device and tell it. I can do it from the phone.
Right.
But I could probably set it up with a shortcut with the shortcuts that are in Siri and do it that way. Because it's okay, because Siri will order you coffee. So I figure it can turn a
probably do
that. Shortcut.
I can do it through shortcuts. I'm gonna test that.
I'll
let y'all know how that works. I'm gonna test that on the.
Okay. So, all right. So Google also is back into developing glasses. Remember the Google? I can't even say it. Google Glass was 2013, I think, when everybody had the little glasses. So now they're getting back into AR because they bought a company called North, and North had its own smart glasses that paired prescription lenses with a projected display. So Google is working on a successor of Google Glass through buying North because they already had, they were working on their own glasses. So Google is jumping back into Google Glass, but I don't think they're going to call it that. They might call it something else, hopefully. Because there was a bunch of jokes about Google Glass.
But now, so does this mean that the Google Glass is going to be the competitor to the Quest?
Right. Is it Meta? Meta have their own the Ray-Bans?
Yeah,
Oculus or whatever.
Well, no, that's the full full
VR. No, this is gonna be glass, cause see, I don't
wearables.
People aren't ready for VR like that because you have to wear the goggles, and that's that cuts off some sensory perceptions for people. So they're looking at glasses like this. Yes. Being the VR or the AR in this instance, AR, right?
Yeah, because we have augmented reality in the phones. We just don't use them,
right?
Because I don't feel like putting dinosaurs in my office or whatever. But we do have.
But see that AR that you're talking about is useful for what was it? Was the furniture? I think it was a furniture or interior design. When you're buying, sofas for the house, and you're at your house, you can put the sofa where you think you might want to have it.
Right. IKEA is set up to do that. And I think HOUZZ.com.
House, that's it.
Right, where you can bring the furniture in and place it. Right. And then you can go to the museum. If I want to go to the Louvre, I can go and see what's on the walls and bring in the art and put it on my wall.
Right.
Just in case you want to
play. So think about that, but having the glasses and doing it with the glasses instead of a device. That's probably what they're working on. Well, we'll see. We'll see. This is the come. And I think, did we have something from Clubhouse? Did we have a comment?
Anybody want to comment over here? And I want to say hey to Jose, who joined in, and Anne, and we got Nadine and Monique as well.
Hello, hello.
The whole thing with the glasses, I think this is going to be the thing with it. Google messed up because there are a number of mess ups, but let me give you the key one. Google initially, with a lot of their products, was extremely exclusive. So these things, like, think about Google Plus. You had to be invited to even get on the list to be in this thing, to the point where I'm like, well, damn it, I forgot about it. And then finally they opened it up. Now that could have been things that they were doing on their end, etc. But the point is, it was exclusive to the average user. Same thing with the Google Glass. That was not something that they were testing, and it was available to a few people, which was the opposite of what they did with the spectacles, Snap Spectacles, where they made it a whole spectacle, basically, with these vending machines that you could buy it from. Granted, it was limited, but it was available to everyone. So I think Google's problem is going to be, or their challenge, I should say, is going to be creating something that people want, that is readily available for people to purchase, and that looks good, because the Google Glass didn't look very good, the initial one. So I think this is their challenge. It's an uphill battle.
Yeah, the looks have to work. That's why I think Facebook went with Ray-Bans. Exactly. The same thing. The same thinking behind having Hermes have bands for the Apple Watch. Right. It's that look and it's the brand. So absolutely. Yeah. And okay, because with the electric cars, what was it? Prius came out with an electric car, but I'm not gonna say nobody, because somebody bought it, but they didn't look good. They were not cute. I was like, I am not buying that.
It's gotta look good. You can't skip that part. Cannot skip that part. All right, so we're moving on to Twitter. Twitter is testing a TikTok style reaction video. They're calling them tweet takes. Tweet takes. Everybody wants a little bit of TikTok magic to sprinkle on their apps everywhere. So they're rolling out a new test feature. It invites people to post video reactions to tweets instead of quote tweeting the old-fashioned way. Now, we got to demo this, so I do have a tweet to share, and I'm going to try to describe it for Clubhouse. Let me bring this up. The audio is there. Yeah. Okay. So this is the tweet. Let me see if I can get there we go.
Hey, I'm Sam, and I'm a product lead at Twitter. We're always looking for more ways for you to join the conversation and express yourself on Twitter. I'm excited to share that today on iOS, we're rolling out a test which will allow you to quote tweet with a reaction, giving you the opportunity to share a video or a photo and offer your own take to the things that you are seeing in the timeline. We can't wait to see the tweet takes that emerge, and feel free to share feedback.
Okay, so for Clubhouse, I'm going to describe it. It was a video of a woman talking, and then she had like a picture of a tweet. So if you use TikTok, you've seen that option where you can respond to a comment and then you pin the comment on the screen. So it's like that with Twitter.
And they Dr. Tachi, I think, will agree with me on this one. They had this when they had Vine.
Yeah.
And you are so right.
Yeah.
They were leading.
Yeah. Agree.
They had it right. Okay, so Dr. Tachi's parameters, they had it right, and they were the first. They had a dual thing. They were right, and they had the first, and then they just killed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're kicking themselves for getting rid of Vine. I feel it in my bones that they kick themselves every day for why did we get rid of Vine?
Well, not to go too much on that trajectory, because I know we're trying to, steer the discussion, but when you look at these companies and the acquisitions that they make them because obviously they're going to be of some value to them. Vine was the hottest thing since sliced pound cake. Is that a saying? It is now.
Yeah.
It was the hottest thing since sliced pound cake back then. And they were trying to capitalize off of it. However, if you acquire something and you don't have a plan, it's not going to remain hot for very long. And subsequently, they shuttered the entire thing. Maybe it was not, I don't remember exactly why or what. Maybe it was not in keeping with what they wanted to be back then. Back then, they were known as the news app. They still are known as the news app for the most part. And maybe it wasn't in keeping with what they thought they wanted to be. So they were like, you know what, forget it. They tried the thing with live streaming. I mean, although you can still do Twitter live, they never have really grasped outside of the 140/280 characters to say what you feel. They haven't gone past that. And so when these companies make these acquisitions, it feels like they need to better understand what their future strategy is and become futurists to see how this acquisition is going to fit in. Not just because it's hot. How is this actually going to fit in and work with what you have? I released.
And I don't think they took into consideration the millions of people who were using Vine. They just kicked their audience to the curb, like, okay, well, we're going to shut that down like another unnamed entity.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can imagine something similar would have happened. Remember when there was going to be the forced sale of TikTok? Walmart had their hands in the ring. There were a couple of other places. I could imagine that something similar may have happened had TikTok gotten into the hands of one of these entities.
Right.
They're not prepared and they don't understand.
Right. So true.
Exactly. Okay. I went under my Twitter to see if I have it, and I do. So when you go to retweet, it says retweet quote tweet, and then quote tweet with reaction, and the video camera comes up, and then you can move the it's a little sticker of the tweet that you're talking about, and you move it around, and then you can post that
rather than just turn around and say I agree or I don't agree, or just do the regular thing.
Well, I mean, if you do a video straight from Twitter, it's not, no one has a context. So if you're talking about a tweet, there's the context right there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to retweet, the option is there, and it has a camera icon in front of it, so you know that you're about to go on video.
Okay.
All right, so that's Twitter. Let's move on to TikTok. TikTok is testing a repost button to share clips with friends, and this will repost to friends for you feed. So it allows you to quickly reshare a clip with your followers. So it's a test. It's not available for everyone yet.
Oh. And it looks like TJ froze.
Oh, I'm frozen?
No, you're back. You're back
okay.
now.
Okay. So I'll repeat. TikTok is testing a repost button to share clips with friends. This will allow users to quickly reshare a clip with their followers that goes to the For You feed. The new feature is an early test. It isn't available to everyone yet, and they're testing it with a small number of users. TikTok says currently we're experimenting with a new way for people to share TikTok videos they enjoy. The feature appears as a yellow repost button alongside the app's other sharing features. So it won't publish to your profile, but it will push the video to the For You feeds of your friends, and you can add a comment.
Kind of like a retweet.
Yeah. So let them, and you add a comment to say why you're reposting this video. So it doesn't go to your feed; it goes to your friend's feed. Repost button. So we'll see that. Yeah. So that's TikTok, and let's move on to Instagram. Instagram has started testing the return of the chronological feed in a way. So they're going to have 3 different options for your feed: home, following, and favorites. The default will be home. You can switch. There'll be a little drop down button. You can switch it to following, and then you can switch it to favorites. Now, favorites are the ones that you added to the people that you follow. You've added it to your favorite list. You can change the view in Instagram feed to see that only. Here's the kicker: it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. Every time you go back into Instagram, it'll go automatically to the home, and you have to go to the little drop down and switch it to favorites or following.
So what purpose is that?
This is where Instagram has said, hey, we heard that you want the chronological feed. Here you go, but it's not going to stick because we don't really care. We just want you to be quiet. Because this is the thing. Instagram, their only focus is reels and video. Now, you people complaining about, I want the chronological feed in the news feed. Well, here you go. Instagram says, hey, here you go, but it's not going to stick. It's not an option you can set permanently, because the next time you come in the home, because and if you haven't noticed, when you see your news feed now, it will suggest people that you're not following, things you may be interested in, but people you're not following, so you want to check them out and follow. Why? To keep you on the app. Remember, social media apps have to keep you involved in using the app, so they have more data that they can serve to the advertisers and say, hey, you can advertise with this app and you'll reach this many people on this day and this time and this, all of that stuff. That's why. Mm-hmm. So it's not really chronological feed, but there's an option to switch back and forth. And Twitter has this option where you can do home or latest tweets, and it never sticks. I'm always tapping it and saying, show me the latest tweets, the newest stuff, not what you want to show me. It's a fight. So the CEO of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, says your algorithm defined home feed is going to feature more and more recommendations over time, as Instagram looks to boost content discovery and get people spending more time and money in the app. Now, he didn't say that. That was added on. That was added on in the story. I forgot where I got this from. Might have been TechCrunch or one of those. But that was the person, the journalist, wrote the story that said that, and I agree. They want to keep you in.
It's the California Hotel.
Right.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
And remember, it's the same. Remember, people want the what do they want with Twitter? The is it delete edit button?
The edit button.
But they put it in Twitter blue, and it's really not edit the way they want it. So you got to pay for it, and it really doesn't work the way that you want it to work. So that's Instagram. Same tricks. All right, the last one from Facebook/Meta. I don't know what to call them. Facebook is, if you use Creator Studio, they've added a stories preview option for video uploads and a new way to preview how your posted content looks in stream. All right, so let's take a look at this. Now, you do a video on your Facebook page. You do it live or you upload, however you do it. You have the video. There are tools that let you go in and make little clips, and you can share them to your page or your feed. So now it's going to have an option where you could save that to your stories. That wasn't there before. So you have the option to look at a video. Say it's, like this video is an hour. You could say, well, I want to clip something to stories. Well, it's got to be, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. And then you look at it in Creator Studio. You use that on the desktop, and then you clip the part that you want to share. It goes to your stories, and then there'll probably be a link to see the entire video. So think of it as a highlight.
Okay, so kind of like what they do on Reels.
Right. Think of it as a highlight that leads to. So it's a 20-second preview segment from your full video to post as a Facebook and or Instagram story. Right. So this is in Creator Studio only. If you use Creator Studio, you can have that option. Now, Creator Studio has a lot of tools in there. You might want to look at it instead of going to Facebook.com and just posting, where it says, what do you want to say today? You might want to use Creator Studio, especially if you're doing you're creating content for different, different pages and different things, or you want to have a little bit more editing tools, use Creator Studio. So that option is in there now. Okay. Does everybody get that? Everybody get that?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you know why everybody's eyes are glassed over? It's because when I use Creator Studio, I've tried to go in and find, trying to find Creator Studio. You go, on your homepage on Facebook.
Well, see, that's the thing. You can't get it from Facebook.com.
I know, but they should have a link down the side, which I can click and it takes me over to Creator Studio. They don't do that anymore.
Right. They do it on your page. If you go to your page, there's an option to go to Creator Studio or Business Suite. I'm seeing that.
I'm just saying they're making it very difficult to get over
I
to.
agree with you. I agree with you. But if you go, I think if you go to your page, they have the option to now they've removed it. Mine only says Business Suite. It used to say Creator Studio.
Right. And now you have to go into Business Suite to get to Creator Studio. And then when you get over there, Creator Studio is changed all the way around as well. They've moved things in the Creator Studio. It used to be real easy to go in, and then you could, in Creator Studio, you could set your schedule posts for Instagram and Facebook within Creator Studio.
Right.
But it's gotten very complicated.
Right, because they're moving things. I used to use Creator Studio, but I haven't used it in a while because I go to Business Suite because everything I need is there. But you're right. If you use Creator Studio, first you have to bookmark it because it's business.facebook.com/Creator Studio. And you have to bookmark it and go to it or type that in all the time. And then you're getting into where you can, see analytics. You can have scheduled stuff. Like Fran says, you can share stuff to Facebook and Instagram at the same time and all of that. But it's very difficult to get to. And a lot of people don't know about Creator Studio. So you're right. But I've seen it when I've gone to the page, Facebook.com. I'm going to my page. I saw a button that says, go to it. It was directing me to Creator Studio or Business Suite. And now mine just says Business Suite. But that could be one of my pages. Maybe I'll check another one. But that's
just not. They need to make this where.
Yeah, it's not easy. I agree. It's not easy. So you have to decide. Am I creating? Let me go to Creator Studio. If I'm just going to Facebook.com to look around and see what friends and family are talking about, then you go to Facebook.com. Okay. I know it's confusing because a lot of people don't know about Creator Studio. So
and if you and you can actually use it for posting. It's great for doing it once you
scheduling.
Once you make it to the location, it's really great for posting stories on Instagram and
Facebook. And it's really good for that. But they have to know about it. So I don't think a lot of people know about Creator Studio. So check it out if you are creating content. It's a good place to go.
And if you want to know more, you can reach out to us or TJ so we can at least walk you through where to find
how to get what it is. Because then, like Fran said, there's a lot of stuff. It used to be simple. Now they've added so many layers, and now it's like, what do? I don't know what to do. Okay. All right. So that's your this week in social media news updates for the week.
Thank you. Dr. Tachi, you have the floor. What's going on in media?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to media. As you know, Mediascope is, or this week in media, Mediascope is on sabbatical until February. So I still have stories. That doesn't mean I'm on sabbatical per se. So let's get to it. I'm sure, I don't know if you talked about that before I got here, but I'm sure everyone has heard that Sidney Poitier has passed away.
Oh, no, I did not know.
Okay, then let me say yes. He passed away at the age of 94, and it this last hour came out. So if you don't know who he is, you probably know a lot of his work in the Heat of the Night, the original In the Heat of the Night, the movie. A Raisin in the Sun, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Lilies of the Field, in Patch of Blue, To Serve with Love, which is actually one of my favorite movies that he's done. And in addition to acting, he really set the stage for activism. Just a really important man. And it's interesting here because living in South Florida, he's Bahamian, and he actually was born in Miami, but he grew up in the Bahamas. So it's a sore point for people here in South Florida as well as New York, which he made his home. So rest well to Sidney Poitier. I wanted to ask, do any of you have favorite Sidney Poitier movies?
Who's coming to dinner?
Say that again, Terry.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Mine is In the Heat of the Night. I love that one.
Mine is A Warm December.
Awesome. He has such a great body.
Mine is To Serve with Love. That was like the premium one. That's the first one I saw. Not the first one I saw of him, but the first one that I was like so enthralled with. And of course, Heat of the Night. Yeah, when you slap that man.
Right?
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about the butler. He was like, "Oh, really? Oh, they're gonna be hearing about this tomorrow, tonight." Wait a minute, let me go. Are you serious with me, sir? I gotta be out of here. I'll be right back. And the one he did with Shelley Winter.
Yes.
I think that was, and he fell in love with her daughter or something. I think she was blind, so she didn't.
Yes, that was called A Patch of Blue. A Patch of Blue.
Yeah, that one. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. That
he
was
will definitely be missed. I even like To Serve with Love too. When he remade To Serve with Love and he came back.
Yes.
That was good too. So
I love that. Absolutely.
My favorite was Buck and Creature, and he was in that with Harry Belafonte and the great Ruby G. And he gave us the language and the conversation between African Americans, Black Americans, and Native Americans. And I'll be remiss. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'd be remiss to say he was part of Black exploitation, but Cotton Comes to Harlem.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. The other one he did with Bill Cosby. Which was the other one that he did?
So
Let's do it.
He did Piece of the Action. He did Uptown Saturday Night, and he did Let's Do It Again.
Yes.
That's the one.
Those were his directorial efforts. So of course he was an actor. He's an actor or was an actor, but then he started to direct in the 70s, and that's when you got Uptown Saturday Night, A Piece of the Action, and Let's Do It Again. So yeah.
I don't think he wasn't in Cotton Comes to Harlem. That was somebody else.
No, when Cotton Comes to Harlem was not him. I know who you're talking about. I have to go back. Anybody who's ever taken like a Blacks and Films class in college, you went through all of this.
But the ones he did with Bill Cosby, those were just funny. They were funny. And you didn't feel, you know how you can watch other Black exploitation and you be like, okay, you just cringe a little.
Right.
It was just, you felt like, you really felt like, you'd be in those neighborhoods and it'd be like that, but you didn't feel like it was like exploited. It just felt like, that's what goes on in my neighborhood too. I get it. I understand. I know. That's what it felt like. Versus when you see other movies and you be like, did you have to do this? Did you have to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just a different thing.
Absolutely. And to the point, bringing up Blaxploitation, we also lost Max Julian.
Oh.
Who played the
did.
man. So, yeah. So that's what he's most well known for, but he actually is a trained theater actor, or was a trained theater actor. So we also lost Max Julian this week. Moving. Anybody else had anything to say before?
Yes, we had a comment here on Facebook. I'm not sure who the user is. One of my faves to Dr. Tachi's, a major philanthropist in Miami, To Serve with Love and A Piece of the Action. And then I learned. I'm thinking dance at the Belafonte Telot. Okay.
Oh, Tacolsi, the Belafonte Tacolsi Center.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So the Belafonte. So Belafonte is a huge force here in South Florida. Obviously, that's Harry Belafonte.
Right.
Same family. In fact, I am colleagues with a Belafonte niece. When I was at the university, one of the Belafontes was there. So the Caribbean has a huge effect here, and has actually had a huge effect on the world of theater. All you have to do is look at another famous Bahamian, and that would be help me, Esther Roll. Esther Roll, whose family was instrumental in founding Pompano Beach, Florida. So obviously, Bahamians were instrumental in the founding of Coconut Grove and a lot of the cities here. They were also, Caribbean people were also very instrumental in theater, especially when you look at New York and a large number of Black people in New York also having Caribbean roots. There are more people of Jamaican descent in New York City than actually live in Jamaica. So, it's interesting when you look at the effect that they've had. So as a Bahamian American, he's had a huge effect on theater, on acting, on film and television. So rest well. And also I have to, before we go, say that he was the first Black person to win best actor?
I think
Yes, best actor. Yes.
Best supporting. Thank you for best supporting actor. He was
Blackfoot Jungle, right? Blackfoot Jungle was born?
Yes, it was. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. So off of Harry Belafonte onto, we had another recent death, Betty White, who is our forever golden girl. And this is an interesting thing. So we already know she passed away, but did you know that there is a pub in Mineral Point, Wisconsin, and her third husband was from Mineral Point, Wisconsin. So they would go back to visit periodically. There's a pub there where they allow people to buy beers for celebrities. Well, people were buying beers for Betty White, and they've been doing this for years, right? So what that pub has decided to do is that they're actually going to donate that money to charity of all the beers that have been purchased for Betty White.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. So may she rest well. She was a great talent. She also will be missed. So off of the actors and the rest wells and on to the Grammy Awards or some award shows. So the Grammys have officially been postponed. If you've been looking at my timeline, I have that there. And at first it was, they weren't sure what they were going to do, but somebody came to their senses, and an Academy spokesperson confirmed that they have postponed because of the coronavirus related surge, but no new date has been confirmed. Here's a thought. If you ask me, well, let me give you some more about this. So the crypto.com arena was supposed to be where this happened. That was the former, I think that's who's from LA? Is that Staples Center?
That former Staples Center.
Correct. So that's the former Staples Center. So now it's the crypto.com arena. So in looking at this variety, they actually dug in to see are there available dates, and there are no available dates. So even for a while, even if they decide, okay, we're going to postpone it to XYZ, that can't be the venue. So they would either have to pare it down or look at some other things. So for example, the Latin Grammys has been doing it in Vegas as opposed to LA. So that's another thing that they can move it completely to someplace like Vegas. So we'll see what will happen in terms of that, but venue is going to be a huge thing because things are booked out for, like, in some cases, years in advance. So, they wouldn't be able to just say, okay, we're moving it here. It also depends on venue. But if you ask me, there are already too many award shows. I know this is really the start of award season. Can we just do a red carpet and let everybody go home and you do or do it virtually? I've heard no talk of them doing it virtually. I know people want to be in person. it is not safe. And frankly, I don't know how much the public cares as much anymore about these award shows. When you look at ratings, they've gone down significantly year over year. But I mean, there are other factors at play there as well. There are way more choices for programming. Before, when the American Music Awards and the Grammys used to come on, that was the night of television. There was nothing else on because nobody was going to compete really with that. But now you've got so many choices for content. That's another reason why we see less and less in terms of ratings, the numbers going down for ratings. So lots of different things there.
And plus, they haven't been creative. They haven't been creative with it in the last God knows how many years. So why should they, why should you tune in? I'm like, yeah, well, the people you want to win probably ain't going to win. Then the people, who should win don't win. And then they still do the same tired stuff all the time. There's nothing new for me to watch. I'm like, well, if I see her video, I don't need to watch her on TV. I've seen the video. It was more entertaining. There's no reason to watch. So.
Well, exactly, Alexis. But what we forget is those award shows are not for us. They're for them to recognize each other. And I agree with people recognizing each other. But what has happened is the people putting it on learned a long time ago, if we put this on TV, we can get sponsors and make money because people care about what celebrities are doing. Yeah, to an extent, until it gets boring. I don't need to see 3 hours of you congratulating yourself. Now, yes, I'm clapping for you, but I'm probably not going to watch the entire 3 hours. So they need to find another way to do things. The times have changed, folks. So move on. So off of sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just said agree. I just said I agree.
Dr. Chachi, wasn't there an award show that was recently canceled? Was it the Golden Globes?
You get a Golden Globes.
Yeah, Golden Globes are not going to be live streamed. First of all, the Golden Globes has been plagued with controversy since last year. The lack of diversity, the treatment of women, a lot of the Hollywood Foreign Press as an agency themselves, it's been plagued. So it's going to be a private event. It's happening, but it's going to be a private event. So according to Deadline Hollywood, a spokesperson for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association said this year, just yesterday, said this year's event is going to be a private event and will not be live streamed. We will be providing real-time updates on winners on the Golden Globes website and our social media. That's what all award shows should do. Keep it private to give me the updates. I don't care about the entire show. Give me the updates, except maybe the Tonys because I enjoy the performances. However, give me the updates.
Like like they do the highlights on the sports.
Yeah,
you can go and get clips. Here's what major highlights, and you can just tell me who won and whatever, and keep it moving.
And that's what they do, like with the Oscars. You don't have to watch. You watch the news show the next morning, and they got all the clips of all the things, that's important or funny or wow moments that happen. Or go to YouTube and watch the clips.
Put it on. Yeah, they should put it on their YouTube page.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the actual results of this pared down Golden Globes is going to be announced via a press release after the 90-minute ceremony is over, according to Deadline. Now, see, 90 minutes. Why can't you do that on TV? We don't need 3 hours. But I think really people, they don't like to change. Hollywood does not like to change. They want to get dressed up and want to do the same old things they've always done. You could still do that, but make it a private event. You could do it via live stream, but you don't have to do it. You don't have to do a public live stream. You could do it however you want. Let the people who want to watch that watch it via live stream. That's all I have to say.
I do like the red carpet stuff. I like watching the dresses.
Yeah, love red carpet.
But
you know what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
Well, you can televise the red carpet and make it. I mean, E does a red carpet special all the time. They're not televising any of the awards themselves per se, but what they do is they do a red carpet show. So that's been happening forever. bloggers, vloggers, all of these cable channels, fashion, they've all covered the red carpet, and that is what they do. And to be honest, that's what a lot of people care about.
Yeah.
Seeing the interaction with the crowd, seeing what people are wearing, getting that little interview, the red carpet thing. It's a lot of fun to watch. I have to say, not as much fun to participate in. I have decided I am no longer doing red. I shouldn't say no longer, but red carpet just is like too much sometimes. I'm like, ugh. So, but it's fun to watch. I will say that. So I am all for a red carpet show, and then take the rest of it online or do a private thing. We don't have to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, this calls for a rethink. 2022 and beyond calls for a rethink on everything.
I like that. Rethink. Mm-hmm.
That could be a t-shirt. Rethink. So, moving off of the Golden Globes, which we're not going to watch anyway, on to NPR. So, I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about this, because if you don't know, NPR is actually losing top talent. So there's something happening at NPR, and we don't know what this underbelly is. But a lot of top talent, particularly talent of color, are leaving and going other places. So there's this whole thing of the Great Resignation, but then there are other people also going other places. So, for example, if you are an NPR listener, you'll notice that Audie Cornish has announced, from All Things Considered, has announced that she's leaving the program after nearly a decade as the host. So,
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this marks, with her departure, this marks 3 hosts of color to leave the network in recent months. So, Noel King of Morning Edition left in November for Vox Media. Lulu Garcia Navarro of Weekend Edition has joined the New York Times. And then there is a whole list of from Sam Sanders, who's the host of It's Been a Minute, and he's listed all the hosts from, quote, marginalized communities who have left as of September, including Shireen Marisol Meraji from Code Switch, which I love, and Joshua Johnson of 1A. So, you know, if you are an NPR listener, I tend to gravitate towards, I listen to the news and I listen to things like Wait, Don't Tell Me. I love all of their shows, but there's a special place for those shows with hosts of color, because there's a particular perspective that they bring. So if they're leaving, and I'm not saying it's a mass exodus, but it's an exodus, what's going on at NPR? So those are some of the questions, right, that have been floating around.
Yes, that's a good question. What's really
It's a very good question.
Absolutely. So according to The Verge, apparently there's been an email bidding farewell to someone from NPR every week. So This turnover is real. And people are quick to want to chalk it up to a specific reason. But I think there are a variety of reasons. There's something obviously going on there, but there's also coupled with this whole Great Resignation and the pandemic. So you've got a mishmash and a mix of different things happening and reasons for it, particularly when it comes to reporters and hosts of color. So I will be watching that more. And I will, you know what I'll do? I'll back channel you this. Well, it will be too late then. But I will put this in the back channel, the article for anybody from The Verge, for anybody who's interested in reading about NPR losing this top talent.
I think I can make you a moderator and you can put the link.
Okay, and then you can stall while I put the link in before you end the room.
Okay.
Or I can...
while we're closing out or whatever, you can put it up there.
Okay, I'll do that as you're closing out. Okay, so if we to go over to Amazon, if you are an Amazon Prime Video watcher, or Prime Video as it's called, I am a huge fan of the series The Boys. It's really raunchy, but it's really good. So they get a season 3 premiere date. Friday, June 3rd is when the season 3 of The Boys premieres. So if you're a fan, I don't know, Alexis, it strikes me that you would be a fan. Are you a fan of The Boys? I'm a huge fan. Maybe she is. She'll tell us or let us know later. So anyway, for those
yes,
of
I'm a fan. Yes,
Okay.
man.
I figured you were. Because you're also a comic book fan, so I figured you were. And The Boys is based off of it's a comic book adaptation. So Friday, June 3rd, it premieres with 3 episodes. They drop 3 episodes at once until the season finale on July 8th. So they'll do 3 episodes at once, and then they'll drop them piecemeal until July 8th. Talking of television, or speaking of television, Star Trek Picard, which I loved, has paused production because dozens of people have tested positive for COVID. Patrick Stewart is not among them, but Paramount Plus has suspended production on Star Trek Picard, and actually 4 dozen cast and crew members tested positive for COVID. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So the outbreak affected crew members as well as cast in Zone A. So remember I talked about the fact that there are different zones when you are working on a set, a SAG-AFTRA set or a set. So Zone A are the people, like the actors and the people that are on the set that have to be in close proximity with each other without a mask. So, and that goes all the way to Zone E. Is it D or E? I can't remember. I think there are 4 zones, so I think it's Zone D. So Zone A are people like actors, directors, etc., people that would be on the set, or people that would be there without a mask, or need to be there without a mask at some point. So that's a lot of people. And, you know, the same thing happened as Tyler Perry Studios. They also have enacted some more pro-COVID protocols. And there was another, I can't remember which production has stopped production because of it. It will come to me, but it's happening where people are stopping production because of the outbreak.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I just I'm having a thought, and I'm not a medical professional, and I don't know if we have any in the room. When say, for instance, you're getting a flu shot, right? The flu shot contains the flu so that you can build up your immunity. So I'm thinking, and this is just me, if I got the vaccination, if they go to test me, won't they find it?
No, it doesn't contain live coronavirus.
Okay.
So it's like with, for example, well, there really is no HIV vaccine per se because you can't do it. So, okay, the flu is a weakened version of that. That doesn't work apparently with coronavirus
Okay.
in it. So it's not a weakened version of coronavirus in the actual vaccine, from what I understand, unless there's something that has changed. So, no.
So I'm like, there's a whole bunch of questions then.
There are a lot of questions, and we still don't know a lot about this whole thing, despite the fact that it's been nearly 2 years. And there's been a lot. There's been misinformation. It has become a political debate, which is part of the problem as well. And so there are a lot of different factors here that are affecting it, and it is definitely affecting all industries, but Hollywood is being particularly hard hit because to make things look natural, you cannot wear a mask while acting, right? So
Right. And so, yeah, and they're trying, you know, everybody's putting, especially here in California or whatever, they're trying to put protocols into place for something they don't understand yet, and doing whatever they can to make it safe. And I don't think people are trying to get away with stuff. I just think it's difficult to know. It's like hitting a moving target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, off of Star Trek and their woes, or Star Trek Picard and their woes, onto Apple has landed another big feature project. You need something, bruh, because people have to justify. In fact, I need to hurry up and watch what I have to watch on Apple Plus before my free thing ends. So Apple TV has landed the Audrey Hepburn biopic.
Mm.
Yes. So Rooney Mara she's an Oscar nominee, and she's set to play Audrey Hepburn.
Mm.
Breakfast with Tiffany's is something that I always enjoy watching. So I'm a pretty big Audrey Hepburn fan. It will be interesting to see how they handle this. So Apple Studios is producing this, and it is in development. Well, it's past development. They're working on getting this shot now. So good for you, Apple TV Plus. Hopefully that means more stuff, because nobody will pay for a channel with lack of stuff. They're getting there. And finally, let's see, do I have one more? Yeah, I do have one more, some international stuff. So Amazon Prime. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before you move off of Apple Plus, Denzel is doing the tragedy of Macbeth on Apple TV Plus.
Yes. And they're trying to get some more product, let's call it, to justify, because if you don't have something I want to watch, how do I justify paying for you every month? And so they're really trying. I give it to you, Apple. You're trying.
I just want to see Macbeth myself, but
yeah, absolutely. I don't know if they're really doing free trials the way they used to. Only if you buy it, the Apple device. But check it out. Okay, and the last thing is that Amazon Prime going international, has inked a licensing deal with Nigerian production company Ant Hill Studios. They're continuing their push into the African market by signing a second exclusive licensing agreement with this production company. They inked a multi-year deal with Lagos-based Ant Hill Studios, which is behind the local theatrical hits, including Prophetess, Day of Destiny, and Elevator Baby. So this agreement is going to have Prime Video become the exclusive global streaming home for Ant Hill's slate of cinema releases following their theatrical runs in Nigeria. Okay, that's interesting. How many feet? I'll be quiet. Anyway, I'm like, not that movie theaters don't exist, but I'll be quiet. Okay, so this is the second such deal that Amazon has struck in many months, following their pact with Inkblot Studios, who produced The Wedding Party. And this is what they say: "We're very excited to bring Ant Hill's upcoming slates of popular Nollywood movies to Prime Video customers around the world." Now, you know what this is? This is them trying to compete with Netflix. Netflix has had a slate of African movies and African programming. All you have to do, I just finished watching one yesterday. There's a South African program. It's like a series of programs. One is called How to Ruin Christmas. So there's the wedding, and then there's the funeral. Excellent. If you get a chance, check it out. It's on Netflix, How to Ruin Christmas, and it's out of South Africa. I think you will really enjoy it. So they have a slate from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Ghana. They go all over the place. And then all you have to do is look at the success that they've had with the Asian market. We talk about Korea, especially with Squid Game, etc. So they're trying to compete with Netflix, and they won't be the only ones. Look for other streamers to start to include international properties in their offerings. And I am complete.
Okay, I have a question, and I don't know if you mentioned this maybe on a different program or Matrix 4.
Yes.
Yes, you mentioned it, or I missed it, or.
Oh, no. You're asking a question about the Matrix that just came out?
Yeah, Matrix 4.
Yes. Have I seen it, are you asking?
Yes, and your thoughts.
Oh, I have not seen it yet. That's
okay.
I have to, because it's on HBO Max.
And
I need to watch it before my free. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, but you have to watch it before your free trial ends?
That's right. You know how I do. I don't pay for stuff. So, and the reason I did the free trial is because, we've been doing these reviews of the Sex and the City sequel and just like that. So I was like, oh, perfect. Well, I'll be able to watch Matrix, but I haven't had time to watch it yet. In fact, this weekend I'll do it. And then ask me next week.
Okay.
I have an answer.
Okay, I will hold my opinions till next week. We can talk.
And I'm complete.
And so are we. This has been great. Thank you all for tuning in with us this week on Tech Life Weekly. Shout out to everybody in the clubhouse. We got Cheryl Ferguson and Yolanda from Dryer Buzz and TJ, Terralina, Jose, Terica, and there were some other people here too. Thank you. And everybody who's over here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Thank you for tuning in for our first program of the year. Okay, TJ and Terry, y'all have anything before we head out for our weekend?
No, we just want to remind people that if they're looking to be a part of the BizChicks community, to text Biz to 33777.
Yay!
And with that, we want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.